when you start to peel back the layers and really look at what is and what isn't, nah, they got this whole, there's no benefit to getting married, and it's an argument presented by multiple people who are still single online, and they found multiple women that they don't get along with, and it's like no one ever looks in them. They say they do, but the truth is, do you really?
No.
Most dudes don't truly care about your past unless it's affecting this right here.
Right now. Welcome to another episode of Something for the People. This is your boy B Hunt, aka the Silent Prophet, along with my co-host Big Country.
What's good, people? How y'all doing?
You couldn't let the process be the process. And that's the frustrating part about it, is that's when that broken person goes to another person and creates another broken person.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Something for the People. This is your boy B Hunt, aka the Silent Prophet, along with my co-host Big Country.
What's good, people?
It'll be a pleasure. We got the producer, Mr. DJ.
What's up?
Top notch. Shooting the breeze, we're going to jump this off with is there really a war between black men and women? Is there really one? Do y'all really feel like that's a thing?
Well, I don't know, because you always hear this stuff on social media, perpetuating this, men do this, women don't do this, men don't do this, all this going back and forward. And I'm like, is this really what we're going through? Because it seems like, I know there's tensions between black men and black women, and that actually started after the civil rights movement, because there's a conspiracy saying that black people, because they were so strong together, the only way they could break them up was basically taking the man out of the home. And that's where a lot of welfare, a lot of these other things come in. Then it was, you need your own independence. And I do respect a woman for having her own independence. But when you're overly independent, it gets to the point where it's
Turn off? Kind of?
Yeah, well, it's definitely a turnoff, because if you're saying, I don't need you, I don't want you, I could do everything without you, it's going to be a turnoff for anyone.
Right.
That's like okay, I'm going to take it to the bedroom. If you sit here and say, you don't even need me in the bedroom, what's going to make me want to come to the bedroom? Because if a dude told a woman, I could do it myself, well, it'd be like, you don't really, it's going to be weird for a woman to even want you, and vice versa.
All right. First, we got a challenge.
Okay.
You said welfare, correct?
Yes.
What's the face of welfare?
Honestly, the true face of welfare is white women.
Huh?
White
women, 2 kids.
Yes.
That being said.
But that's not what's put out there.
Right. So
even black people don't know the truth about that, because it's more white people on welfare than black people, but you hear more about black people being on welfare, using the system, all those kind of things.
Mm-hmm. Then, on top of that, we also looked at a study, some statistics that state who's more active in their child's lives.
Yes, and we know the truth now because statistics are bringing it up, but what is put out there?
Well, the reason I'm bringing up these points is to illuminate the idea that there's no war.
I don't think there is.
It's fictitious. If black men are predominantly out here dealing with their kids, if welfare, you said, I get it, like the whole Willie Lynch situation is separating the young from the old, the light from the dark, the men from the women. There's speculation that that was just poetry, and there's also speculation that that was an actual situation, like an actual person who wrote these rules and guidelines to train your slaves and make them do what you wish them to do.
Yeah.
Right.
So because I wasn't born back then and I'm not sure, I look to the people around me, the communities that I'm in and I serve. When I go around, I look at my household. My father's around, my mother's around, my brothers and sisters, we all around, we're a family unit. I go to your household. Your father's around, your mother's around, your brother. I go to your direct household, your immediate. You at home, your wife at home, your kids in here. I go to your household. You with your wife, when y'all do have kids, there's nothing in me to suggest that you would leave your family for any reason whatsoever. So this war that people speaking about is the equivalent to the music that was put out. Everybody was a gangster. But I'm like, I've met real gangsters, bro, and them niggas ain't that articulate, bro. Niggas ain't writing you whole bars and all that shit. We ain't worried about that for real. I'm trying to get paid, or I'm trying to get this, or I'm trying to get that. We ain't got a lot of talking to do.
Yeah.
So when you start to peel back the layers and really look at what is and what isn't, nah. They got this whole, there's no benefit to being married, and it's an argument presented by multiple people who are still single online, and they found multiple women that they don't get along with, and it's like no one ever looks in them. They say they do, but the truth is, do you really?
No.
You really don't. You always looking outside for the issue. It was a book, and I forgot. I apologize. But of course, man is dead at this point. So I don't know if apologizing to him means much to him. But he wrote in the book, he said, when you're looking at your relationships, things of that nature, you're going to get out what you put in.
Yeah.
So if you go into a relationship, black, white, Indian, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, it don't matter. If you go into a relationship and you don't attempt to put your best foot forward, constantly seek to work, nurture, build a relationship, it's going to fall. It's going to falter. And then the people who are complaining, just like squeaky wheels, they get the oil. They getting the attention right now. Because unlike us, who come out here on a consistent basis and speak power to, hey, it's a benefit to having your wife at home. It's a benefit to having a family unit. It's like the people who are like us, they don't feel the need to speak because I'm showing you. When I go home and I kick it with my kids, you wonder why I'm so happy. Look at how I'm living. The actions speak. We stepped outside that boundary and we said, no. The people out here who getting this type of play and getting this type of publicity are always the people who got all these issues and problems and they want to shout it to the world so you can be that, woe is me.
Yeah.
How many girls have you actually met in real life telling you, oh, I'm going to need $200 on a Cash App or Zelle before you can have a conversation with me? I've only seen them or their avatars online. I've never seen them in real, actual life. And it might be because, I'm in Texas.
I mean, I feel like this quote-unquote war that we got going on, or whatever they say it is sensationalized. Like, it's pushed out into the forefront for people to not focus on what's really important. The family, the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they trying to get you to take your eye off the ball while everything else is going on around you. It's like, okay, that's your enemy. This is why that's your enemy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I feel like once we start playing into these narratives, we'll be better off, you know.
I agree with what you're saying because how I'm looking at it is when you hear a lot of these things, they seem like personal issues. Like, because they're trying to say everybody's having these issues. Mm-hmm. I ain't having this issue. Like, I ain't bumping back and forward with all these people about this because that's not my world. Yeah. Like, every man, every woman is a person of their own world. Yeah. I don't have to get into that because that's not allowed in my house. Right. What we do is I respect my wife. My wife respects me. Yeah. Now, do we bump heads at times? Yes. Yeah, but that's a marriage. Yeah.
No, but that's a relationship. Yeah. There's gonna be points where even us in this room, we gonna butt heads. But
like we did before the show.
Hey, I will say that facts presented to me are not in relation to this show. What I am saying is this.
I stay neutral.
What I am saying is this, though. In any relationship, if you intend to merge two worlds, which that's what a relationship is, you take my world and your world and we try to find common ground.
Mm-hmm.
Any type of reaction where you seek better, it's going to be friction. You can't plant a seed if you don't turn the soil over.
Yeah.
I got to dig the hole. Yeah. So I'm literally ripping into the earth, placing something new and hoping that it grows. That's a relationship.
Yeah.
So you tell me that you get with somebody and you gonna make her the soil for the kids and the house and the lifestyle you trying to live, and there ain't gonna be no friction. You trying to take our relationship is for the most part moment to moment, year to year type basis. You trying to take a lifetime thing where I'm gonna wake up with you. I'm constantly worried about where you got, what you're doing, what you got going. You're a major concern because the investment in that relationship is that high.
Yeah, and you want the success rate of that to be extremely.
Yeah, you want to leave minimal room for failure.
Yes.
No, we have to succeed because in your case and in my case, right now, our success is going to weigh heavily on the people coming up after us.
For sure.
We don't make it. It's going your chances to make it are lessened. So I'm like, we have to have a successful relationship, and being that we gonna have friction because when I said a couple episodes ago, the dream comes first. We set and we state this is what we want. Me and my wife already decided we want 2 kids currently that's going to come. The number of kids is in question for her, but not for me. 2 kids, go to college, graduate college, go on to live successful lives, have children and kids they own, and be fruitful and multiply that way, right? That's our ultimate goal. Health, safety, shelter, all that. We shoulder those burdens to raise these kids, grow these seeds, and to be fruitful trees in the future.
Yeah.
That's what we do. I've been in your household. I'm currently in your household. Beautiful home, by the way. I see how you nurture and take care of your kids. I see how you nurture and take care of your wife, prepping the field to plant your seeds. So when they tell me that there's a war, or I'm like, you must be misinterpreting the battle. Like it's not a battle of I have to dominate and win over you. It's a compromise to where, hey, I'm telling you this or telling you that in order for us to reach this ultimate goal.
Yeah. But you know what though? I will say it is a war going on, but it ain't the one that they want.
Right.
It's the one that's going on inside your mind.
Yeah.
It's the one that is. I said it a while back. People go through internal wars with themselves, and they try to be like, okay, now I got this platform, and now I'm gonna make this war within my mind. I'm gonna make it everybody's. Mm-hmm. So now you gotta feel me where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta feel the whole narrative of this is the pain that I feel. So now I'm gonna make everybody feel it, but now I'm gonna make you feel it through the microphone. I'm gonna make you feel it on the camera. I got the influence to push that narrative out there in front of everybody. And this is this is the outlet that I got. Everybody has an outlet, and with us having social media, everybody got a voice. And we talking about it too. You know what I'm saying? We have a voice, but some of us use our power with these microphones for good, and some of us use it just to cause chaos.
Right. But see, that goes to that point. Get some therapy, because I'm like, don't get me wrong, I can't stand when women get on here and bash men, but I also cannot stand when men get on here trying to bash women. Oh, there ain't no good women out here. All these things. There are good women. You just don't know how to get them.
Right.
And the same thing with good men. There are a lot of good men out here. You just ain't got one.
Yeah.
It's your fault. Yeah. And I hate when somebody tries to put one person as, oh, this is everyone.
Stand up for everybody.
Yeah, oh, everybody does this, everybody does that. I'm like, no. That's you and the men you chose. That's you and the women you chose. And when people don't realize that, they keep pushing that on everybody else. Oh no, that goes back to that song, Some for the People, a bitch with no man. Like, listen to her. She ain't got no man. You won't end up with no man just like her. And I would say the same thing for a man. If you too busy listening to your homeboy that ain't got no girl, that ain't had no girl in forever, all he out here trying to screw everybody he can, everybody trash, don't trust nobody. Yeah. You won't end up just like him.
For sure.
If you out here with these people, like you saying, who got that me mentality, I'm focused on me, I'm worried about me, I only care about me and what I can get from you. You look at everybody as an opportunity to get something from them, and you want to give minimal to it. And you get upset when you don't get a lot out of the person. Because you put nothing in.
Yeah. True.
You put nothing. People I can't argue. I can't argue with a Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre recently came out and said he feels sorry for married men. He it's for the first time in his life, he feels free. But I'm like, I can't say how much you put into your relationship as far as with your ex-wife. I can't say what y'all did and didn't do, but I know you was married to a woman for quite some time. Y'all raised kids together. And if nothing else, financially, I know you put into that household. But I also am a firm believer in money is not enough. So you being Dr. Dre and you being on the road and you doing all these things, but how much time do you have for your family?
And I hate to say it like this because I hate to shoot those shots at people, but Dr. Dre is known as a womanizer. It's been proven. On top of that, he was an abuser. It's been proven.
Right.
And on top of that, too, it's like, I'm just saying, call a spade a spade. You can't be like, oh, man, it's so easy for me and because I'm not married anymore. But there was things that you did wrong. And we're not going to act like nobody does nothing wrong here.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, if it's easier because it's like, okay, she's over there, I'm over here. I don't have to be held accountable and I don't have to hold her accountable no more. Okay, that could be considered more easier. Yeah. That much easier. But if you're sitting here talking about, man, I ain't got nobody to worry about me asking where I'm going, where I'm doing this and that. I'm like, bruh, what were you doing?
But this would also, on top of that, put the cherry on top. He speaks about no one worrying about his whereabouts or how he moving as a positive, right? Now we take somebody who most of the world out here would consider a villain. Bill Cosby character. Yeah. He had a wife who did what? Stuck by. If he wrong, but he my wrong. Yeah. When he come home to me. And that's what, I don't care what y'all talking about that's irrelevant to me. My husband needs to be free. When you got somebody and you built that type of connection relationship to where you are almost infallible, unconditional. They can tell me I got the worst thing in the world. Well, give me the worst thing because that's what I want. That's mine. Yeah. The relationships you building out here that Dr. Dre finna go into, they ain't gonna be, you can't build something that's solid. The boxer who recently fought Tank, I forgot the other boxer name, but he was like, I didn't know who was on my team till I lost. Because all of them left me. All of them didn't want to deal with me. Yeah. He said, I got more love and respect and help from the opposition team. Yeah. He was like, but I would have never knew that.
If I hadn't lost.
If I hadn't lost. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bill Cosby right now, granted, man, I don't want to make him the poster child due to the allegations, but his relationship, his wife, should be the poster child for why marriage is so beneficial. If you locked up, who on the outside seeking your freedom? Because you can't seek it 100%. Right. I can't do it. Somebody got to be on the outside that can move on my behalf without all these restrictions, without these bars in her way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless if I'm right or wrong, they seeking my freedom, my help me. They trying to help me because why? Because the relationship I built with them and the amount of investment I put into them make them like, look, that's too good
It's
a
that
thing.
right hand.
Yeah, that's too good a thing to have locked up. Regardless of what y'all say he did, I know what he's done for me, so I need him free.
See, people like to have control and power.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start getting to a point where you have to relinquish some of that, I'm not deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like your logic, your thought process has always solely been me, mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When me turning to we, you gotta relinquish some of that power that you have.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to deal with that. So your decision making becomes solely focused on you, now goes on your husband or your wife. And then it goes on those children that you had.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes on all the other factors that you can't logically in your mind at that point be like, everything has to revolve around me because you can't be that person no more.
Right.
And that's the part that they don't like.
Right.
People don't sit down and take a breath and be like, okay, I can't be selfish no more. Because it's no longer all about me. It's about the whole collective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
Some people just don't know how to get past that point. Like, I feel like for us as people, we have checkpoints in our lives, and a lot of us just run straight past them.
Yeah.
That we don't never stop and be like, okay, I'm finna be a husband or I'm finna be a wife. I gotta look at it like this. All right, let's go to the day. Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you look, you done passed all 6 of these checkpoints, and now you got a whole family structure, and you got 2-3 kids, and you don't even know how to operate inside this.
Right.
And now your next move is, I want out.
Mm-hmm. Because you didn't stop the rest, you didn't stop the recharge, you didn't stop to get to that point.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is what I need to look at, this is where we going.
Mm-hmm.
On to the next one.
Yeah.
Next checkpoint, stop. Hey, that's like you trying to go from Texas to California on one tank of gas.
Yeah.
This is not going to work.
You're going to run out.
Mm-hmm. So, what a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people just keep on running forward. Oh, you pushing that car, pushing that relationship. Then next thing you know,
You ran out of gas.
you ran out of gas. Well, I'm going to leave my car here.
Yeah, I'm out. I want out because I want my power back.
Yeah.
I want everything back that I had when it was just me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want it all back. But then you gotta realize that some of us just can't go back. Because if we try to start over, you're gonna recreate the same pattern that you created the first time. And then instead of having 3 kids, you got 6.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people doing that.
Yeah.
A lot of people is like, this person did me so wrong. Then start on back over. Next person, this person did me so wrong. And start on over. Same thing again. Now you got 3 baby daddies or 3 baby mamas, whichever way you want to look at it. Same thing. It's like,
But you never realize it's you.
They never look at the common denominator.
You never look in the mirror and be like, that's why, I love the man in the mirror, Michael Jackson thing. Like that's serious. Like sometimes you got to look at yourself and be like, bro, is this not working because something I'm doing?
mm-hmm.
Or is it really me? Because the common denominator in every situation that did not go right, I was the only one that was there.
And then because when you look at these relationships, right, you'll see that one person who never really come to terms with the common denominator is me. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, well, this person did this person did the same thing, this person did the same thing. And then they'll leave all 3 of them people. And then all 3 of them people will go find somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And live the best life ever. And you sitting here with you'll be all on their timeline, all up and down their Instagram.
Why would they do that with me?
Sitting there liking their pictures, and it's like, why did I build this man or this woman for the next person?
Yeah.
You didn't do that. You didn't. You helped to cultivate them, but you didn't do the work to build yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You live in your life. You live in your life as a course. You're a lesson. Everybody got to go through you for them to learn to treat the next person better. You never gonna be the graduation. You never the degree. You to the course. You never the degree. But you gotta understand. Let me stop teaching the same thing.
Yeah.
What am I showing all these men that make all these women that make them want to leave? What am I showing them? I'm showing them because my course load is all revolving around me. I'm only teaching this subject. I'm only teaching that. I'm only teaching regret. I'm only teaching pain. I'm only teaching suffering. I'm only teaching how selfish I can be.
You notice how a lot of people will always try to deflect with what they did and say, oh, it was always them. Like, oh, well, I never cheated. But what else did you do to help the relationship?
Yeah.
Or, oh, I paid the bills, but what else did you do to help your relationship?
Right, because those two things ain't everything.
Right.
But you know those are the first two that
I get
when
it.
it comes to women all, oh, well, I never cheated.
Mm-hmm.
What else did you do? What did you do to help? And dudes, oh, well, I paid the bills and everything. What else did you do to really help?
Your money and your sex ain't enough.
It ain't. It's not enough.
It's not enough.
They don't just want you to just come home and throw your wallet on the table and be like, you take care of everything. That's just not how this shit works.
And they don't want you to come home and just spread your legs and think that everything in the universe is okay because I'm finna bust a nut. That's a moment, baby. I gotta live with you for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
See, the thing that a lot of people think of is when they were young and immature. Yes, sex is the end all be all when you're in your early 20s and stuff like that. Yeah, because most of the time, most of us are a little broke in our 20s anyway. And like, don't get me wrong, I ain't saying sex ain't good. Sex is good, but you realize the sex from your 20s, now in your 30s, like, hey, I got stuff I got to handle. I can't spend all my time just trying to screw.
In my, they call it dick and bubble gum. That's all I got. I got a dick and bubble gum. That's it. I ain't got nothing to put together. I can come bust you down or kick you with you a little bit, but you can't ask me for nothing else. I ain't got nothing else. At this stage in the game, I've amassed some things. I got a lot of stuff that I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
So in order for me not to lose, I need a team. I need people looking out for it just as much as I am. I don't want nothing to happen to my kids.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm watching
You got
these kids.
responsibility.
You watching these kids. I don't want nothing to happen to my life. Needs more than me. And because it needs more than me, I have to move as an entity that is comprised of multiple things. If you a one-celled organism, when you die, it all die. The Hunter name, the Hunter brand, is comprised of multiple people. My father bears the Hunter name.
Yeah.
My grandfather bears the Hunter name. My grandma. It's so many people who got Hunter behind them, and they represent a status. They represent a quality level that, hey, we got to keep this thing moving. When you see one of the kids, you see the grandkid, your niece, your nephew moving in a light that ain't becoming of us, you got to check that. Why? Because we represent us. That if there is a war going on, people forgetting that you don't just represent you. You represent us. When you go out there and you jump online and you start spreading that jargon that black men and black women don't get along, what you're doing is you're warring against people who look like you. Yeah, you're warring against yourself. Because the way you present yourself is how they gonna see you and me, because everybody's looking for the figurehead, the puppet, we looking for the proxy. Who represents everybody? But the truth is, we all represent us.
For sure. So, hey man, you put it, tie that up.
Yeah.
You said that.
I'm done with it.
Yeah.
All right. Is it okay to celebrate small victories, or do you just keep pushing until you achieve the ultimate prize? Do you even celebrate your accomplishments at all?
Honestly, you should always celebrate any victories. It's like, you may not, we go extravagant, do all this wild, crazy things. But yes, victory means you overcame something, means you did something that you normally probably wouldn't have done. The idea is, yes, you should always celebrate that. I celebrate my wife in the things she does. I want her to celebrate herself in the things she does. Vice versa. I want her to celebrate my small victories. Hey, I got a better job. Hey, I got a little more money. Hey, the kids are doing good. Hey, my daughter did good on the track meet. Yes. Yeah. Because when you start celebrating those things, it's like, it's hard to tear you down. Now, if you only celebrate when I did something major, people could keep on chipping at you because you ain't celebrating nothing. All you're doing is like, I have to finish this one goal. Like, for example, me and my wife, I told my wife this since the get-go. I'm going to always celebrate the things that we do, the things that I do. I'm happy with certain things because I see us moving forward.
Right.
Now, my wife was like, I want a house. I'm like, yes, I want a house too. But at that point in time, when we first met, house wasn't in the future right then.
Yeah.
It was like, yes.
So.
But now we have a house.
Yeah.
Victory. You can celebrate this one along with all the other things we did. But if all you're waiting for is the big things to come up, it's like, that big thing may be 5-10 years from now. You mean you ain't gonna celebrate every 5-10 years?
I would say it this way: not only should you celebrate progress, because ultimately that's what it is. It's progress.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrate your losses.
Yeah.
Losses are just lessons. Every time you figure out something that don't work, I don't need to go that way. I can adjust and make it different and do it this way. Like, the losses tally up to make the win.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put it in a relationship type context so we can, you as a man lose your mind or feel uneasy when you talking about your finances. She always asks me for this money and I ain't got it, and I'm trying to tell her that, and you get frustrated. And she obviously gonna get frustrated because, hey, I'm telling you what we need and you ain't got it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Celebrate. At that point, right there, when you determine that this is a point of tension for us in our relationship, you found the problem. I found the problem for us. Now you got to jump into what you should do as a man or as a woman or as a human being. We need to problem solve this. So the problem is it the problem that we ain't got enough money, or is the problem that I'm spending too much money? We got to fix that. So the fact that y'all was losing in the beginning is, I've identified where we losing, baby. That's the reason to celebrate. Because now I can stop the bleeding. I can put the Band-Aid on.
Yeah.
I can fix it now. I know what's wrong. So when you identify your losses and you learn from your losses, celebrate right then. Then when the win comes, celebrate again. Why? Because we went down that road, we came out on top. Mm-hmm. I know the next journey, so I know the next phase of our little journey together. I know where we going next. But so I can draw us a roadmap out. We're gonna celebrate because now we got a roadmap to success. When we get to success, we're gonna celebrate that. Why? Because we can make that a beacon for the other people who's going through the same thing we was going through a minute ago. You got financial issues? Here's how we solved it.
Yeah.
Right.
We was able to celebrate, and I drew out this map to get us to here because, hey, we accepted where we was. I ain't had the bread. How we gonna get it? Instead of going, how can I leave this person to go find somebody else to give me ultimately less? Because if I've already built the tower, why am I gonna put your motherfucking name on
Yeah.
If I already got the skyscraper and it say Hunter Enterprise, why am I gonna throw anybody else up there who ain't put an I-beam up, ain't put a window in, ain't laid a brick? I'm not gonna give you my world. I'm gonna look for you to have a world too. That's why everybody looking for the already erected towers and saying, what do you bring to the table? Because at that point, if I built it all, it's a trade agreement. It ain't a union and it's not a relationship. This is an agreement. You agree to give me X so I can give you X. But if we built it from the mud, we ain't gotta separate or break it down. This is ours. Your name up there just like mine.
Yeah.
Celebrate the loss and celebrate the win.
Yeah.
Celebrate throughout. Because life is a journey. And like I tell people all the time, like you said early in the show, it's about the people. The people you with and the celebrations you have, the good moments, the bad, the moments you have with the people you love is what life is about. Materials cost a lot, but are ultimately worthless. Life itself, love, happiness, costs you nothing. It costs nothing. But it's worth everything. Because the second you ain't got a life to live, the second they putting you in the ground, if you were sick and they told you gonna die tomorrow, you gonna pray for another day.
Yeah.
You'll I'll give up everything I got just to get one more day to walk this earth and deal with the people I'm dealing with, to be amongst the people. Yeah. Celebrate your wins, celebrate your losses, because the losses are the lessons that lead you to the win.
Hey, look. So, I mean, sometimes, man, we as people tend to just overlook our small things that we do in life. Because it's expected of us to do it, or there's certain pressures that we put up on other people and ourselves to just go ahead and just like, oh man, we were supposed to do that. Or, that wasn't nothing. Oh, you did that little like something? Okay, cool. We tend to downplay other people's victories as well.
Yeah.
And so that's why the question was like, do we celebrate those things? Do we give people those celebrations, those acknowledgments, those little small fine details to be like, hey man, I saw you do your thing with that. Congratulations, because I know the work you put in to get there.
Right.
I feel like we don't give people their flowers until it's too late.
Yeah, it's time to put
For one, it's too late to give them their stuff. And then I feel like sometimes we don't give people that credit until we want something from them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I seen you how you got to this point. How did you get there? Oh, I'm here now. Hey man, I see you moving, and I see how you moving. I need to know how you doing that. Right. During the process. Not when you done got there. Because now I feel like you want something from me, and that's the only reason.
To amplify it. Not only how did you do it, how can I help you do it better? How can I, when you pull those like, hey, I see y'all got y'all podcast going. How I can help y'all with that social aspect, like in the editing part, I can help y'all with that. It wasn't a how can I be on the show? Man didn't even want to be in front of the camera. It's all right. My mission, I'm just trying to make y'all situation better. How can I do that? And in the process, you gonna learn what you need to learn, do what you need to do. Because now, he came through, helped us. If you need something, just let me know. I got you. No issues. That deal.
I was thinking,
is what you got. Go ahead.
like, I was thinking about something, and I was like, because you hear so often people downplay other people's victories and everything, and always hit you with the, oh, you supposed to do that. But I also think about it, it's like, yeah, maybe that person is supposed to be doing that, but you notice there's a lack of people doing that. So if that person actually is doing it, whether it's man, woman, whether it's relationship, children-wise, whether it's business-wise, why wouldn't you just be like, hey, man, I see you doing that. I see you. Because a lot of people is like, yes, those little things that you give a compliment on, one of the best things most men want is just, I wouldn't even say it's an ego stroke, but to acknowledge that you see him.
Just a little bit of small compliment.
Yeah, it's like a little
small.
something to let him know, hey, I see my man doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. It's like if you get that little bit of something, you know, that goes a long way.
My wife tells me about her day every day. And every time she accomplishes something at work, congratulations, but I know that this what you do is important. So any victory she get at work, hey, I'm glad you was able to accomplish that, because I know what you're capable of and I know the type of work that you do. So yes, I want you to know I'm proud of you. Every chance I get, I want you to know I'm proud of you. I want you to know that. And so I don't understand, like you, I don't understand why people don't give other people that acknowledgement to be like, hey, look, I see you doing your thing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you mentioned that y'all was moving into the house, I know that's a major step, man. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you sit back and you watch what other people go through to get to where they going, and you know it's not easy. You know, we all know that this life that we live is not simple at all. If you really, really love and support these people, man, get them their victories.
Yes.
Give them their victories. What's so hard about you being like, I rock with you, I fuck with you, congratulations? What's so hard about that?
Yeah. It shouldn't be no issue about it. But that's just like, okay, we talk about, even though it's been proven now that Black fathers are in the household more than anyone, doing more than any other fathers out there. Mm-hmm. But beforehand, they were talking about, oh, Black men not doing this. But if you saw Black men doing that, why would you just say, oh, that's what you're supposed to do? If you see a lot of people out here not doing it, but you see one doing it, oh, nah, that's what you're supposed to do. So basically, it's almost like you shooting him for doing what he's supposed to do, but he's doing the right thing.
Because there's a negative connotation on who we are and what we are.
Right.
Like, I hate to always try to make this thing about a race thing, but when we look at ourselves as a whole, there's a lot of shit about us that we just don't like about ourselves.
Right.
And we point it out.
Yeah. And
we make stuff, we point out the big majority and lump a small group of people that's actually trying to do the right thing. We put them in that big majority of people that are doing the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. And since you been in your child's life since day one, took them to everything, been there, you're supposed to do that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to get no credit for doing it. No. Even though it may be difficult, even though you may not have gotten as much sleep as you need, you're supposed to do that. Mm-hmm. You may be in a devoted husband, a devoted father, or a devoted wife, a devoted mother, but you're supposed to do that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's not no easy fucking feat. It's not simple to do those things.
If it was simple, everybody do it.
Bro, even if we take it to something as simple as fast food, you know when you went through the drive-thru and you got them stale old fries, and you know when you went through and you got the fresh fries.
And you knew it was a different person on the fry station.
Person on the fry station.
For sure.
So I'm like, giving me fries, I paid you. You supposed to do that. Mm-hmm. Giving me fresh fries is what my expectations is. That's what I expect you to do. Mm-hmm. But when you do it, I'm ecstatic about it. I'm going to let you know. Hey,
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you for taking the time out to know, hey, instead of making it easy on yourself, you spent that extra 5 minutes.
Make you want to come back to the party.
I'm going to be back.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm like, go anywhere and get a nice hot burger and some fresh fries.
I'll be back.
I'll be
coming back.
But
I will be back.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
That's relationships. You want to always have the fresh fries, bro. It's like, it's not easy to get up and go to Little League games and cheerleading tryouts and the taekwondos and the teacher complaining, the wife, everybody complaining. But if you're going to give quality service, because it's all about servicing your customer.
Yeah.
And in this case, your life customers, you always want to be the one to say, you know what, instead of getting up and being grumpy about having to go over here, let me go over here with a fresh face, just like the fresh fries, and give them what they came to see. I always respect an artist that I really respect is Travis Scott, because they show on his documentary Astro World. He was on the stage, and it was only 1 or 2 people out there, and he was rocking hard.
Yeah.
He giving like this is the hardest show I'm ever gonna give.
Yeah.
For 1 or 2 people, and it's like only one clapping, and he just up there going 100%, 100%. Fresh fries on stage.
Yeah.
That's how it grew. They knew it don't matter if it's one person out there, nobody out there. If they open the door and turn on the lights, if my wife walk up and look over to me, she know when he get up, the service is gonna be impeccable.
Yeah.
Even if he don't want to flip and give me fresh fries, he gonna get the fresh fries.
Right.
That's the key.
And even if it's not your marriage, like, man, even with your people that you rock with on a consistent basis, bro, man, congratulate them. Bro. You know what I'm saying? People that you call your brother, your sister, you know what I'm saying? Family members that you rock with real hard, man. Congratulate them on their victory, bro. Don't wait till it's all the way towards the end, and don't wait till it's the end of their life to give them their flowers, man. Because we as people, all of us, we need those things. People may act like they don't need them, but we do.
We do.
I'll tell you one real quick. Man, like, I always try to put my best foot forward being a father. Like, I love my dad and all the things he done for me. I know he wish he could have did more for me.
Right.
But I also told myself, with my children, I'm going to take it to that next level.
Right.
I'm going to do as much as I possibly can with my children. That's why my children, anybody that knows me will see, when my children see me, they running up to me, they trying to be where I'm at. They want to be where I'm at. And honestly, like, when my daughter told me I got the best daddy in the world. I'm like, like, I'm not gonna lie, it almost had me break down, because I was like, just for my daughter to tell me that little thing, she may not get 2 craps, but she want me to know at that moment, her daddy's the best daddy in the world.
That's a small victory.
Small victory.
That's a small victory.
And that makes me want to work harder.
Yeah. That's a small victory, and she gave it to you unknowingly. That's the thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's why we keep going, but that's why you invest in your children. Like, you want to invest in them and cultivate them, because they going to be the ones that's going to be the ones that's going to carry on the story.
Yeah.
Because later on, you're going to be the best daddy in the world 20, 30 years from now, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that foundation is there. Because the story is going to get longer.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She going to be able to sit back and be like, hey, Pop, remember that time? Or, hey, Daddy, remember that time we was here? That was one of the best days of my life.
Yeah.
And you going to be able to sit back and reflect and think to yourself, like, I really did my thing. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's going to bring you joy, because you are determined to be the best father that you can be.
Yes.
You're determined.
Don't get me wrong, I don't get everything right.
No.
But I'm still going to push.
See, the thing is that you know that you're not perfect. Nobody walking this earth is perfect.
Right.
None of us going to get everything right. But the fact that you are willing to put your best foot forward and continue to cultivate and love and nurture on these kids is a feat within itself. Because there are children out there that don't have that.
Yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah. your phone. We're going into You Won't Believe This, and You Won't Believe This is brought to you by.
As always, love to shout out my beautiful wife. Love you, baby. Shout out to Mink Men. Yanni Like Mine, Traces Like Mine, and Wasted Desires. So many different little things. Go wasteddesires.com. They have waist beads, anklets, bracelets, thigh chains, all those things that you need. Make your body look all nice. I promise your man to like it.
Especially them bridesmaids. That bridesmaids garden. Go ahead.
Anyways, we got Traces Like Mine. This is hair care product for Black women, by a Black woman, to help Black women. You know, a lot of Black women say people don't invest in their hair and their health of their hair and body like Black women. So you have a Black woman out here actually doing those things for them. And then Yanni Like Mine, ladies, if you don't know what your Yanni is, please look it up. I'm trying to be a little more politically correct, but it doesn't take care of itself. I don't care what anybody says. That's a lie.
For sure.
Tyler Bailey, Luxury Clothes by Luxury Guy. Cousin Mike, also known as Bully, which I call him Wiggly out in these game spaces. He does a podcast, State of Being.
S.O.B.
But it's not that way. It's State of Being, not the other way around. He does that. Go check him out. D-Mac, he's a barber. And also, of course, the people who really brought you this, or mainly brought you this, is us, which is something for the people. And that is something, the number 4, D-A People. Find us on YouTube, all podcasting networks, and also if you want to go to fan base, you're trying to run those numbers up, as the DJ would say. So if you can get over there, find us over there. That platform is produced by Black people, and you know we want to just kind of show love and put light in that direction and try to grow that as well. Likes and comments. So, if you're on the podcast, give us 5 stars, nothing less. If you gotta give us something less, just go find somewhere else. It's okay. If I'm not your cup of tea, then let it be for somebody else. Tell somebody else and move along. But if we are your cup of tea, and you want to leave that 5-star review, I would appreciate you. And on top of that, if you want to leave a comment, comments can be either negative or positive when it comes down, because, you know, without comments, I guess comments, that would be where they get to talk back and forth.
Yeah.
You want to, if you have a disagreement with anything, and especially the prophet said, I will prophesy for you personally on a social media platform. But
check the shirt. Something for the people.
He'll speak to you.
Yeah.
Who want to show some love?
I want to shout out my boy Bryant, Slaughtercut, Fort Worth, man. Also, I want to shout out my boy DAI, Fit Legit. June 18th, live session. Hit him up on Instagram, Fit Legit. Also, y'all stay tuned. It's gonna be a little commercial coming y'all way on Instagram. Don't know the exact date, but just keep paying attention. Run them numbers up. Follow, share, more share. We need y'all to, we want to build this community up. So just stay tuned. It's gonna be some exciting stuff coming out.
That being said, Natalie Grace, if y'all been, following the story, Natalie Grace is an orphan from the Ukraine, came over here to America and got adopted by the Barnetts. Barnetts determined that, hey, you are not 8 years old, like you said. The key factor in that was when the mother was giving the lady a bath, and I said lady strategically because at this point she was a lady. She had a full pubic hair, and it was like that is not something that an 8-year-old would have, right? So, gave her the bath, found out, went and got a bone density scan, come to find out this lady was born in 1989 as opposed to what she said, which was 2003. And from that point, the lady, you know, got a little distant with the lady. They said there was some transgressions that took place, where she had the little girl, aka young lady, standing in the corner for over 8 hours, and the father and the mother, the Barnetts, they ended up getting a divorce because the husband did not like the treatment that the little girl was receiving, or the perceived little girl was receiving. So his arguments with his wife would be more related to that situation. Friction got to be too much. They end up leaving. He ends up giving custody of the kids to the wife, and he did that because she wasn't giving him none on a consistent basis. So she was showing him sexual pics, and then boom, he signed over all custodial rights to the kids. But back to Natalie Grace. So Natalie Grace ends up being, you know, taken to a neighborhood and given an apartment and left there because, like they said, she's 22 years old, not the 8-year-old that we thought we had gotten from Ukraine. Problem is, she still could not, you know, work a stove, or what they say. She couldn't work a stove. She couldn't do for herself because she was suffering from dwarfism, and it's a rare form of dwarfism, as well as deformities, which, you know, prevented her from growing vertically and walking as well as we do. She's currently in a wheelchair. Another family finds her. This family takes her in, and then they do for her, and they were seeking custody or guardianship of her back in 2016. They have since taken back those or stopped seeking that because they did find out that she is in fact 22 years old, so she doesn't necessarily need a guardian anymore. Yeah. How do we feel about this real life orphan?
Man, look, I was gonna say, bro, every detail that you gave on this sound like that movie.
It really is.
Like, the only thing they didn't do was they changed the age range of her because, you know, in the movie she was born in like the 50s.
Yeah.
Instead, you know what I'm saying? So, did they get this? Because she was from Ukraine in the movie too, right?
I have to go back and watch. I don't want to say yes or no, but I definitely don't want to
I think she was like Russian or Ukrainian or something in the movie too. I think that they loosely based this
whole ruse,
this whole thing off this movie. Because, bro, like everything that you like, as you was reading the details about it, I'm like, bro, this sounds like the movie, like verbatim. But this is a crazy case, because how do you not? What is?
Well,
You go ahead.
I'm gonna just say this.
Go ahead.
My mama told me this, and my wife proved it to me.
Mm-hmm.
2 grown women can't live in the same house. So, honestly, she can't live here no more.
Yeah.
It's like, you 22, 20 whatever years old.
But she thought she was 8 though, right? Like in her mind, her mental state, she thought she was still.
Did she? Like, here's my thing. Because right now, I can say, I feel I'm 65. My knees hurt, my back hurt. I've been around. I know music from the way back in the day, all kinds of stuff. Does that make me 65?
No, it doesn't.
Now, that's the bull I keep on saying. You keep hearing it.
She was Russian. It was still, so they changed the nationality.
Yeah.
But it's
Like, I'm just saying, it's getting weird because I'm like, of course, I could say I'm 65.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mean I'm 65.
Mm-hmm.
I could make you believe I think I'm 65.
Mm-hmm.
But that still don't mean...
But what if you identify? Because at this point, if she identifies as an 8-year-old, born in 89, then who are we to say?
Then she's 33. Who are we to say?
How can I say that? I can't say that.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Because your age determines what age you are. Now, there are some people with... No. Your mental disability... like, there are people that have mental disabilities that have been proven from younger ages. You didn't just magically get this You over in Ukraine, what was she, 22 in Ukraine?
Yeah.
It's like, so nobody knew none of this stuff going on. She probably set up the adoption herself.
Right.
She set everything up, and then, now I'm 8. Now I'm 8. I swear I'm 8. You got pubic hair. I'm 8. I believe I'm 8 in my mind. That's like, I'm not gonna go there, but I'm saying it like this.
Yeah.
If I say right now, I believe I'm a cat. I got ears like I put cat ears on. I put cat tail on, and all that kind of stuff. Does that make me a cat?
I mean, I might bring you some catnip.
And at the end of the day, it still ain't gonna make me no cat.
I mean,
I'll put a litter box in the restroom for you.
you know,
First of all, if somebody sit here, I got a litter box over here, you are a nasty individual.
Hey,
You are a
I'm just
nasty
trying to help
individual.
you live your best life, man.
No, we need to stop doing this stuff. Because at some point in time, hey, you know the truth. Everybody keeps talking about speaking their truth. What is the actual truth?
hey,
Understood. Granted, now I got
And even at 8, I could use a stove.
in her defense, okay.
I could use those 8 years old too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
in her defense, I brought up the whole identify thing to this joke. So she didn't necessarily. I mean, granted, she did identify as an 8-year-old in order to get into these people's home. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's something I just threw.
She
in.
was using that to benefit her.
Yeah, she was just but she never. As far as I know, she never said that. It was just me. That's my bad. But All right, but yes, Natalie Grace, being that she is in fact at that time 22, now 33, 34.
She's 33. She's born at 9. She's 33 years old.
Yeah, so at the, going
So
back,
for 11 years, she been 8.
11 years she been posing as 8. And then when she got with the other people, like I said, but
She knows what she doing.
These people based that off this movie, man.
Yeah.
They had to. I'm still stuck on that. I'm sorry.
But this is how you know she, and this is how you know she, and so for the last 11 years, she was 22. Even if she was 22, okay, she said she was 8.
Mhm.
At this point in time, she'd be 19.
Yeah.
So
It came out and when she made it to Dr. Phil, because she did get on Dr. Phil.
Word?
So yeah, she on Dr. Phil, this whole story,
Right.
giving her side. And on the Dr. Phil episode, she declared herself to be 17. And the people that I think it's the men's, they end up coming out, there's something about how they was taking care of her and doing, because like I said, regardless of whether she's 22 at the time or 8 at the time, she is somebody with a deformed body who can't necessarily get around. So she do need somebody to assist her in a large portion of her life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what she actually, like, I'm not saying that she needed because
here's the thing is, because I got a partner. What's up, bro? I ain't gonna mention your name, but I got a partner that's a dwarf.
Right.
We worked at UPS together.
Right.
The fact of the matter, he every bit of, I think he was like 4 feet tall at best.
Right.
At best.
Right.
And the thing is, he had a little bit of an issue with walking. Man, like we used to crack jokes, all these kind of things. He had his own car. He knew how to do everything himself.
Right.
So we're giving these excuses.
Well, I'm giving you essentially the fact that she's 22, that's a fact. At this point, 33, that's a fact now. She has the dwarfism, it's a rare form that also gives her deformity, so she could not walk. Like I'm not saying that he having trouble walking is one thing. She can't do it. So
Man, there are people in wheelchairs every day.
She getting
What we talking about?
She getting a disability check for $733, and the family that took her in was capitalized on it, and that's not a bad thing. Now
He was getting
the
a
Barnetts,
disability check.
the Barnetts, they was doing it maybe in the wrong way, but the Mann family they was not, and they was using the money to really help the girl. Because like I said,
If she needed help, okay, there's always somebody out here to help.
Right.
But her trying to pass herself off as an 8-year-old for the longest time, and then trying to manipulate all these different people, and then I guess sending the nude pics. Like,
No,
I thought you said she sent the.
so the mom had her own thing. So the father wasn't able to get no, quality time with his wife.
Okay.
Apparently the gardener was able to get some quality time with his wife. Various people who was coming through to the house and at one point, the mother tried, from what they say, because all charges have been dropped against her. I heard.
Allegedly.
She was trying to basically sell the little girl off as a sex slave to another man who's a door player.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. God
It's
dang.
like she's 22.
It just went way left.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
So, but she wasn't physically sending out the sex pics. The woman who would be at that point.
Did she pose for it?
I wasn't there.
No, I'm just saying.
Telling the lady what's going on, telling the man what's going on with the girl and that he can have her if he wants. But she also offered herself too.
So,
This is an
okay, see, never mind.
Wow.
You know what? I'm gonna leave this topic alone because I want to say some stuff, and I'm like, I ain't trying to get in trouble out here.
And that's why that's on You Won't Believe This.
Yeah, this is a very, very, very interesting story.
Wow.
But this is based off this movie, man.
Because the little girl was coming on to the father.
Yeah.
And then the lady on this story claimed that the little girl was trying to kill her, poison her coffee,
Yeah.
and try to throw into the electric fence.
And they flipped it.
Flipped.
Yeah.
The orphan, the lady was trying to murk everybody too.
Yeah, man. Man, this movie is based off,
Yeah.
It's a life story based off of a movie.
Yeah, man. They did that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's wild. That's crazy.
Cold world.
I don't even know what to say out here.
I'm gonna say it for you. It's a cold world out there.
Shout out J. Cole. We can jump into Just So You Know. A gentleman by the name of Larry Pearson, or Pearsons. I'm gonna say Pearsons. 36-year-old man from Texas was sentenced on Wednesday and given 70 years in prison after he spits on an officer. All right.
See. This is how you know, and I know somebody gonna say, well, he shouldn't spit on an officer. Don't get me wrong. Yes, it's trash. Now, if the officer decked him, I'd be like, you know what? He had that one coming. I wouldn't, hey, nah, you got that one. I believe he need to serve a little bit of time. But 70 years?
What?
70.
That's context to this. He had priors, and the minimum sentence he can get for the priors he had was 25 years. The opposing defense requested of the jury, because he was tried by a jury, that they utilize him as an example. And also his defense requested that a person should not get a lot of amount of time for these minor,
So hold up.
Texas is a three strike state.
I don't know, but I know the minimum he could get was 25 years. That's the minimum. He was gonna serve 25 years regardless, and it's not based on the spitting. Apparently, he had an assault charge. He also was a domestic abuse charge. When they went to get him,
25 years was the time he was supposed to get. Get that man 25 years.
That's the minimum.
That's the minimum. That's not what that's the minimum that they could give him. The jury that came.
But like he said, they wanted to that was requested.
Yeah,
for them to make an example out of him.
So, and
it's excessive.
Here's my thing is when you say, oh, we're gonna make an example out of you, why I gotta be the example? It's like, hold up. That's like when your mama line all y'all up and one of y'all she whoop worse than the other ones to make an example out. Hold up. Why I gotta be the one to get made the example out? There's people out here doing way worse than me.
Right.
Like, if your brother did something way worse than you, but, your mom like, you gonna be the example. I'm gonna wear you out. I'm gonna wear you out in front of them. Then I'm gonna whoop them a little bit. But you getting the blunt of this whooping.
Right.
For example.
My thing is, there's other people who are, because he was also, they was going to pin a firearm on him, but they couldn't because it turns out it was just an airsoft pistol. But the lady who was running from him, who flagged the cops down initially, she said, hey, he got a gun, but it turned to the airsoft pistol. Now, there's other people out here who walk around with automatic assault rifles, especially in Texas. No shit out in Texas, because I do believe keep your guns, okay? I'm not one of them guys. They walk around and they actively pointing gun, because it's a video a while back where a guy was literally walking through a field holding his gun out, pointing at people and cops, talking about, shoot. And as far as I know, he's still a free man. He definitely ain't get no 7 years.
No.
So I'm like, when you say statements like, hey, there's people who are making worse offenses, yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. There are people out here who really got these cops' lives in danger.
Exactly.
Hey, bro. So, now granted, he did spit on the man. He spit on the arresting cops, and when he got to the detention center where they was going to detain him in jail, he was also spitting on them cops as well. So,
And that's where I get to a point where I'm like, I know somebody gonna say excessive force. A little elbow, or honestly, I wouldn't, because I'm gonna be honest. If you spit on a person, that's considered assault.
right.
So if I'm a person on the street, you spit on me, you assaulted me, I'm gonna assault you right back real quick.
But that's why being a cop, people always say being a cop is a crummy job, because the expectation for you as law enforcement is to be above. You gotta be above it. He spit on you, so what? I'm
It's one of those oops, he tripped and fell moments.
But the oops, he tripped and fell would be a Chevron situation. I had my knee on his neck. I didn't know he couldn't breathe, even though he said I can't breathe.
So the two, I can't breathe versus oops, he fell.
What I'm saying is,
But it's kind of hard to do that with the world we live in, man.
Yeah.
Like, because the oops, he fell, you gotta have your body cam on at all times.
Yeah.
If you turn it off, when they see you tripping, it's a whole nother issue.
And the body
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, in this climate, in this world that we live in,
See,
it's, and I'm not condoning that whatsoever, but what I'm saying is, like, you said he had prior assault charges, right?
Prior assault charges, multiple charges prior to.
Yeah, but one was an assault, and one was a domestic battery.
Right. He was actively in a domestic dispute.
So basically, it's another assault, because domestic is in that same umbrella. Right. So if you spit on an officer, that's assault too.
Yeah.
So you basically are a habitual offender of assaults.
Yeah.
So that's probably their logic.
But 70 years?
I mean,
People have shot and killed people and got less time. Yes. Taking someone's life versus, if I beat 3 people up versus taking someone's life, them 3 people gonna be okay.
I'm not saying
that person I take their life, they ain't gonna be okay.
But
I'm not saying it ain't excessive, but what I'm saying is their logical thinking. You got 3 assault charges. You gonna keep on doing the same thing.
Oh no! What is the key ingredient for harassment in the workplace?
Getting fired.
No. I said not the key, not the end all be result, but the key ingredient. What do you have to do in order for the people to determine that, hey, that is harassment?
When they told you to stop and you kept going?
Because that's one occurrence. It's frequency. You shoot one person and you declare self-defense, it happened one time, the likelihood of this actually being self-defense is high. Because what? He don't frequent shooting people.
Right.
And the other person, the opposition, they dead. They can't tell you that, oh, nah, he was trying to beat me up and decided to shoot me. They can't say that. They're on the ground. Now, when you got a trail of people who would say, yeah, he beat on me. You got a girl that's currently who flagged the cops down saying, hey, he's currently in the moment trying to beat on me and say he gonna shoot me because she didn't know the gun was fake. He said he gonna shoot me like prior, and then the arresting officers get spit on, the people at the detention center get spit on.
And that's okay for 70 years?
We're not saying that it's not excessive, brother.
I'm not
We're not saying it. We just telling you their logic on why.
And, don't get me wrong, I would understand.
So my question
Like they
is,
say,
if
let
he
the
got
punishment
25
fit the crime.
if he got 25 years, would you be like, that's excessive?
No, because if those were the minimum sentences,
But prior to knowing that's the minimum sentences, because the headline reads, 36-year-old man gets 70 years for spitting on cops. If this one reads, hey, he getting 25 years for spitting on cops, what's going on? How you feel about it?
I would look at that more than 70.
The truth.
It's almost 3 times as much.
It is. The thing
70,
about-
5 more years, it'd be 3 times as many years.
Innocent boy got killed on death row. At the age of 13? Was 13, 14? I forgot his name.
Like somewhere in there, yeah.
And that, because he's the person who they
The
basically
Green Mile.
on. So I'm like, I think that's excessive.
Yes,
To
it
kill
was.
a 13-year-old, period. But to kill a 13-year-old or 14-year-old and he actually be innocent is
Right.
excessive.
Don't get me wrong. Being uncharged and you're innocent, yes, that's very excessive. Especially when you don't have all the facts. And that case that you're talking about, I was looking into that too. They didn't have the facts. They basically forced him into admitting he did it. And then they decided, oh, we're going to kill him.
Right.
So, that, but what I'm saying, when you sit here and try to basically say, hey, 25 years, okay, for them prior charges, we're going to get 25. But with these spitting on people, hey, we're going to up the ante to almost 3 times as much. Because, no, you said the 25 was for those prior things
Prior
that he
charges, but that's prior charges. So you got to understand, he was currently on trial for domestic abuse and domestic assault. So that's the current charge, alongside assaulting the police officers. So he got 2 assault charges on top of it. Those are the 2 assault charges you on right now. The priors you had with the assaults and domestic assaults and all the other stuff, that's the fact that you're sitting in front of this judge right now. At minimum, that judge is going to give you 25.
Okay.
So 25 is the bare minimum. And now when you throw on top of that the assault charges he have currently pending, the ones that we hear for today, now we're like, okay, so you're just going to get 25 of those. What you going to give for this domestic assault and what you going to give to spit on these officers. So getting 25 years is the bare minimum. That's just for being in this room under the circumstances.
Okay, that's 25 years. But do you think, okay, I understand you're saying that it's excessive. How many years should you have gotten?
I'm not the judge, thank God. I don't have to make the decision. Me personally, the judge ain't really give it to you. The jury did. And the jury of people in apparently Lubbock, Texas, decided that's what you need to get after it was requested by the defense.
For you to be
made an example of. Because it's like you shouldn't be spitting on cops. Or you shouldn't be.
You notice when you say, hey, make an example out of them.
Yeah, I feel like
that's a huge issue.
That's an issue for me. That's why if I was to take this, it seems to me people always want to make an example of the black guy. You got a gentleman walk up in a church full of people and shoot the church up, and we go get you a burger, fam. We ain't making no example of you.
Which time are we talking about? Because there's been a couple of times where when they shot the church up.
But I'm saying the predominant.
Are we talking about the Dylan Ruth one?
I think he's Dylan Ruth.
Yeah, he's the one that they want to take the Burger King.
Yeah, they took him to Burger King.
Man,
So I'm like, it's crazy how one go to Burger King, one go to jail 7 years. It's crazy how they take place. And the majority of the time, I'm speaking like it's the truth. Majority of the time, the people you want to make an example of, the people you want to say these are all bad actors in society, they typically be minorities or black, or that's who we attacking. That's who we making examples of. When they look like you, I don't want to make an example of you, because that would in turn make people start to say, hey, if we can do that to him, we can do that to you too. Nobody want to be that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I got the issue. The fact that you got 70 years, bro, you was acting up. You understand that that's not something you should be doing.
yes, I
Is the
will
punishment fit
understand.
the crime? Probably not. But if that's what they decided to give you, and they gave it to you based on this criteria, you as a man shouldn't have put yourself in that position anyway. You as a black man especially shouldn't have gave them the option to take away your freedom. That's the real concept.
Right. And my thing is, and by no right am I trying to say this man does not deserve time or anything like that. You got assault, or you got multiple assault charges. I'm just saying, when you say, hey, make him an example, when do you hear that about everybody else?
Yeah.
Then when you 70,
So basically,
you'll never get out of jail.
gonna die in prison.
Like, when you say that, I'm sorry, even if I beat somebody up, even if I beat up a couple of people, that don't mean I should get life. That's what you might as well have told them. If you in your 30s and they say life, how many people in prison make it to 100 and something?
I mean,
Exactly.
we gotta factor in where we at as well to these decisions. Like, I mean, we know it ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, the justice system is all out of whack. It has always been.
Yeah.
It's always been a disproportion of time, crime, punishment, all that stuff has always been out of whack.
True.
Like, is this excessive? Yeah, I think it is. I feel like it's too much time to spend the rest of your life in jail. Because basically, he not
didn't
getting
kill
out.
nobody.
He not getting out at all. You know what I'm saying? But again, this whole cluster of how we ended up here, sometimes we gotta take a step back and look like, hey man, why did you put yourself here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
He's stupid for it.
why did you even you should just let him arrest you?
Yeah.
You should, like, if you knew that you was finna go this route, you should just went on ahead and just let him put the cuffs on you. Because now you know that, one, you in Texas. Two, you a black man. Mm-hmm. Three, you ain't never had a good relationship with the cops. Never. No matter what state you in, we never had black people and police have never had a good relationship. You just put yourself in an ugly position, and then you got the nerve to want to spit on it. You added to your own problem.
And then take into account now, we've seen what cops can do, right? Mm-hmm. We've seen the Eric Garner with the chokehold. We've seen we've seen all these other instances where a life was taken because pretty much a black man.
Who was the one that was arrested by the police and ended up with a broken neck? I forgot. He was up in Illinois. They arrested him and put him in the back of the car.
Bucking him up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because if I'm in a car, even if you stomp on the brake, may hit forward. But you gonna get your neck broke.
So they buckle your hand, they cuff your hands and cuff your feet. So now I can't balance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but I said that to put in light to, we seen what dirty cops can do. You get, by the grace of God, I take that back. It's more clean and proper cops and dirty cops. Yeah. So you run across most instances where you just got a regular cop doing their job, not trying to. I'm not basing this on race. I'm not basing. She flagged us down saying you chasing her with a gun. In Texas, somebody gotta go. If it's domestic,
somebody gotta go.
Two people can't stay in that same space. So one of y'all gotta go with the cop. So you the one who doing the assault, we finna take you.
Man.
These two cops, I'm just doing my job, bro. The only reason we got a situation or interaction that has to take place is because you out of line.
Mm-hmm.
You spit on those cops. And you spit on them and, hey, look. He started off, he kicking the squad car door on the inside. They opened it up to ask him, hey, man, instead of they opened it up, hey, man, stop doing that. You start spitting on people. Mm. Now, they could have opened up the door and hit you with a Rodney King, but instead, hey, man, stop kicking the squad car. And you start spitting on. I get you to, you're in the backseat of the car, you're already going to the station. We here at the station, you get out the car, you're spitting on people to get to them. Mm-hmm. As much as I hate the fact that he got 70 years, this ain't one of them, like, everything leading up to being in the courtroom, he asked for that.
Right, don't get me wrong.
The fact that he in that position, he asked for that.
Don't get me wrong. I'm like, yes, because I don't care who you are. Every last one of us in here will say, I'd rather get beat down than have to serve 5 years in prison.
Right.
Hey, you gonna throw them hands and we're gonna call it a day. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, when you go, you couldn't go no more maximum than that 70 years.
That's what you gave him a life sentence.
Yes.
I mean,
no, the life is really 25 years. Yeah. So you gave him almost 3 life sentences.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense. And that's where I draw the line at. It's like, hold up. So all these other cases, mm-hmm. things like that, where people have actually used a real gun, shot people, killed people, done all these other kind of things. Armed robbery, where you actually, like, taking people's lives or taking people's lives into your hands, mm-hmm. all that kind of stuff. They've gotten off lighter than 70 years.
All right, take it this way. Your kid robs a store that first time, and they steal a TV. Do they get a whooping?
Yes. Oh, you getting a real good whooping.
Real good whooping, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. The other child, they go to the store. They don't steal a TV. They steal a little handheld game system.
Still getting that same whooping.
Same whooping. They go back. That one who got the whooping for the little handheld game system paid, they go back to the store, and this time they steal a game for that handheld system. What you do?
Getting a real good whooping.
They go back.
First of all, nah, because you ain't whooped them right.
You ain't whooped them right.
Nah.
You ain't whooped. So you telling me, because the TV that he stole was worth $600-700. The game system, little handheld game system, maybe $60. The game he stole, maybe $30. And then that third game that he went back and stole was another $30. It didn't amount to it, but that first whooping, you said, oh, he was the same whooping. He stole a TV though. He stole $600 worth of TV. This child stole $50 worth of game system and then came back for 2 games, $80 more on that.
He
gotta get this super beating right. Because of the frequency. Let me finish now because you got me here. You had the audacity, young man, to sit here and get the same whooping that stopped your older sibling, that stopped him. You decide to disobey and disrespect me again by going and stealing again, and then to have the gall to try to do this shit a third time, motherfucker, you gonna die. 70 years, people.
Wrong.
That's how you get it.
Okay.
This ain't race. He fucked up. That's it.
Yeah, he messed up. But here's the thing is, because if you would gave him you okay over there?
I'm fine. I'm just saying, he fucked up.
Here's my thing though.
Hey.
Because what I'm saying is, as a whooping, is like, if the older sibling learned from the whooping, my question is, why didn't he learn from the whooping? Did you give him a whooping, or did you just tell him, oh, well, since it was lesser, you know, I ain't gonna give you
By your standard, I asked you what you gonna do. You said
the
it's the same
whooping.
whether you stole $50 versus $700, you gonna get your butt toe up.
Right.
If the one that stole $700 learned from it, you explain to me how the one that stole 50 didn't learn from it.
Explain to me how you got prior assault charges, and I'm sure you either did some jail time or something, and you didn't learn from it. But
So
it's other
hold up,
people
did
who
he
get
already
assaulted.
get?
He already had cases like that. Case
So-
he already.
If he already served time for those cases, how are you going to keep trying to get him for them old cases?
No. I got you before. You built a track record. You've shown me that you're consistent in doing the wrong thing. You keep doing it. You got assault,
minimum.
and then this one right here is double assault. You chasing a woman, lying saying you got a gun, and she got knots and shit on her head, and you then
why-
you assault the cops who came to stop you from assaulting a woman. You
So what I'm
committed
saying by
assault.
that is, if you're saying that, so when he came in front of the judge was gonna give him 25. That's that whooping. That's the real whooping he was getting.
No,
because
that's
obviously,
the original.
okay, if he's 36,
That's because he let
if
you
he,
make it.
hold up, if he's 36 years old right now,
Uh-huh.
he ain't got no 25-year whooping.
Right.
He didn't.
Because you
So-
didn't like this is by your standard. I didn't hit you hard enough the first time because you
So
went back.
25 years was the whooping he was supposed to get, not a 70-year whooping.
No. Because 25 is you saying you stole 25. We were supposed to give you real time in the first year, so we didn't really do that. Now, here's the real whooping. This is what you're supposed to get for them last
25
transgressions that you did.
No,
But on top of that, you've been in my face on multiple occasions with the same issue, fam. You got a real problem. You need rehabilitation. We
So-
both know that the criminal justice system does not rehabilitate anybody. It is simply to punish, and we can stop with that facade, that lie. It is simply to punish. Now, I've punished you before. I whooped this child for this little game system. You had the audacity to do it again. I gave you another whooping. Maybe a few more licks, but I gave you another whooping. I catch you out here wilding again, fam, and not only did you whoop on another child, somebody else's baby, who's an adult now, you got now the baby came and spit on you.
So that's where
The
25
baby this
years
time ain't
come
robbed
from.
the store. The baby this time came home
Hang on.
and stole the TV or the game system off your wall.
What I'm saying
Whoop
with
that
that
baby
is,
7 years. First I was with it.
No.
But now I'm like, nah. he
I'm
needed
sorry, bro. I can't be with that
I'm with
because of the fact of the matter. When you give somebody a sentence, once they've done their sentence in time, you can't go back and say, "See, I should have whooped you for this one too." On top of that, no.
what I'm saying
So
is
the minimum
the frequency,
they said because you did these
Frequency, bro.
things 3 times,
Uh-huh.
so you did these 3 things. So since you did all this, 25 years. That's what I have to give you now. That's your whooping now for what you
That's the
did.
minimum.
But when you jump to 70, that's
You jump-
3 times the whooping.
Because it's like, bro, what's gonna get through to you?
Oh, so
We in here
get him and throw away the key.
because you ain't learned. This is a problem now.
So let me, I'm living that because I'm sitting here and I'm just listening. I think so. With what's going on here is he did what he did.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, he did his thing. His priors are going to be weighed into the final, regardless if he didn't serve his time or not, because that's what
Yeah.
they do.
Yes,
That's what they
You
do.
built a track record.
When you go into the courtroom
Yeah.
They look at your priors and be like, oh, well, you served time for this, you did this, you did this, you did this. They gonna look at that.
Yeah.
The key to this whole thing is they said, since you didn't learn from the whoopings that you took before, I'm finna drop the ultimate whooping on you.
And which is what
Life.
a parent would do.
Yeah. Because
They learn.
you gotta think about it. When people do stuff, they do it out of anger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm frustrated and I'm angry with you. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of telling you the same thing over and over and over again.
But that's what I'm saying. The 25 years would have been that whooping that he should have gotten. But since they decided, hey, we're gonna make an example out of you.
He wasn't gonna, they thought, you gotta think about it. In their minds, their logical thought process, in 25 more years,
He gonna do it again.
when he 55 or 57, he gonna do it again. And he gonna be free to do it again. So to stop him now, we're gonna put him in it the way he can't get out ever again.
Mm-hmm. You saw all the people you want. They'll fight you back.
But that's the thinking.
You put your
Whether it be right or whether it be wrong, bro, it is that is their logical thinking. I'm gonna stop you because you are a menace. When it boils down to it, when they look at you from your priors to what you keep on doing shit, they see you as a menace to society, and all their thought processes is that all menaces need to be put down.
Yeah.
One way or another, whether it's assault or murder. If you are a menace to society and a threat to what we call the Republic of Texas, you are going down.
Going down. And like I said, the key ingredient, bro, to where, because he, at this point, he harassing the system. You keep coming back. The frequency is too frequent. I see your face, bro.
That's like a kid keep on going to the principal house. What you gonna do? You gonna expel him?
Yeah. Okay.
If
You would suspend him before you expel him.
He's been suspended. It's on record.
How many years did he get before on all these other
for
charges?
years, they like, I'm a grace. Now I'm gonna put.
That's your fault for giving him grace like that.
No, that is not your
You
fault.
say it is your fault?
But if
No, you try. No. Now, because I'm gonna go to this next topic, but now you trying to say because I'm hoping that you gonna get the idea here, fam. I hope that you realize that I'm not playing with you when I say don't do that.
Well,
Take your years some change. Take your this, that. Okay, just like the kid. You stole from the store. Okay, I'm gonna give you the same whooping your brother got for that $600 TV that we stuck in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
what was the old saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. This is the third time. So if look at it like this.
The third time.
Hold on. I got way of okay.
third time.
Okay.
Number
For
three.
example,
Number three.
you said things in the past like you give your daughter a benefit of the doubt that one time.
Mm-hmm.
And after that one time, what are you going to do? So if you gave him the benefit of the doubt 2 times, but now you get the extension cord,
No,
and
that's what I'm saying. Because you making light of it. No, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. The second time, I thought whatever I gave you was enough to change you.
yeah,
I'm not finna give you that same thing. The frequency leads to the severity, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is your third time being in my face with this same thing. Obviously, what I do next has to leave such an impression on you that it leaves a lasting result for everybody who come up from behind you with the same
I guess I have to see what you did the first and second time.
assault.
No, what I'm saying is what you as the judge or you as the parent. Yes. If you sit here and tell me, oh, you assaulted someone, you know what? 6 months.
But
I'm like, hold on.
guaranteed to see the same judge. And it ain't the judge who telling you what you finna get. He explaining to you what the people over here done decided. The jury made this.
You know how the judicial system works. You got 2 different sets of trials. You got trial by a jury of your peers, and you got trial by judge. Mm-hmm. The judge ain't got no determination on I mean, they got the termination on the terms of the time, but as far as like the sentencing, they ain't got they have the terms and time, the sentencing part, but as far as the actual charge of guilty or not guilty, they ain't got no control over that.
Exactly.
And
He's guilty.
And you, as a jury, can request hey,
a harsher
penalty. Because they could literally be sitting up there because this is happening.
So you know what this really means? People sitting in that box saw you as a menace that needed to be stopped. Because they requested that you get a harsher sentence because you didn't learn your lesson.
But if he ain't okay, for example, I'm gonna say his last thing. Okay, real quick, if you ain't gave him 10 years, you shouldn't jump from, he done the same thing this many times. If the first time you said, okay, I gave him 10 years, then the next time I gave him 15 years, then I can see you jumping higher. But if you ain't never jumped to 10, 15, 20, how you jump to 70?
Like this. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. So, you know what? No harm, no foul. Is what it is. You get off with a 1. The second time, okay, well, I'm thinking it's beneficial to you. I'm gonna give you these 5 licks. Because at this point you should see that I'm serious. I'm gonna give you 5 licks. Now, in this case, like I said, he ain't stealing from the store no more. He stole from you. Because he ain't just go over here and chase this girl down and assaulting her, domestic assault. Now, he's spitting on you. So, KJ walked up in here and instead of just chasing your daughter down the hallway, he get so much nuts on him, he gonna chase you. I'm finna hit Mr. Hicks, Big Hicks. Nigga.
Now I gotta take you down.
Buddy.
Now I gotta take you down.
Let me show you. This is why you need to know who you're dealing with. Unfortunately, it is not, you are not on equal grounding.
Nah. And that's
You shoot a police dog, you're locked up for life. You shoot your neighbor dog, we might go to court. We are not on equal footing. Stop, don't lie to yourself. He starts spitting on this cop. That's one set of rules. You chasing your girl down the street with what she believed to be a pistol or a gun, that just give me to put you in a squad car. You just need to go see this guy and iron it out.
And you might do a year.
You might do a year.
Maybe.
It might be probation.
You on a whole separate set of rules when it's cops.
You rob the store? That's one thing. You rob me, the person who's supposed to punish you for robbing the store, son.
I guess so.
That's just like if you rob a bank and then you kill somebody while you in the bank. That's like added on to. You know what I'm saying? Like you just keep
compounding.
Yeah. There it is.
You rob your mama, you rob your aunt. Your aunt pressed charges, your mama said you don't know what he's doing. You go to your little juvenile detention center, at this point you got a prize. They know that you rob people. You go rob the bank. When you're at the bank, you start pistol whipping people. You gone, buddy. Game over.
Them assault charges. Now you got armed robbery and you got assault charges.
You're not gonna see the light of day. What they say on the Latin, the light of day. You know. He asked for that, bro. In my opinion, and yours, leniency, grace, all that.
I ain't saying leniency and grace, but get a man what he deserved, not what.
Yeah,
let me.
Years.
In that context, that's what they felt like he deserved because
the judge gave him 70 years. I would. There is no case where the jurors say, give him 70 years.
No, give him a harsher sentence. We agree with the harsher sentence.
He was supposed to get 25.
That's the minimum. That wasn't harsh.
That wasn't harsh. That's the minimum.
I get. You see, I think your expectation of harsh is their minimum.
No.
If you sit here and tell me,
I don't
25 years.
I don't want it.
25 years. Now, I'm like, even if I slapped another chick or something like that, they don't give me 50 on top of the 25 years.
But I'm sorry, I keep bringing it back to the child, the logic in the child level.
So
You get your son getting a fight at school, and he in the wrong. That's one set of rules. He getting a fight at home, and you like, okay, now he frequently fighting. He getting a fight with you. At this point, bro, somebody got to explain to you that there's a hierarchy. One, you out of your weight class messing with me. That's why you got these hands. That's why you on the floor. Now, people gonna be like, you shouldn't punch your kids because that's abuse. I would not have punched this child if this child had stayed in that child's place. I would not have punched him. I would not have hit him in the face. But he came up and he started swinging at me. Swinging at the girl at school, the little boy at school, that's one fight. Swinging at your sister or sibling, that makes me get involved. I need to stop this because you don't need to be doing that. You swinging at me, your nuts is too big, bro. Somebody gotta go and punch you in the nuts.
Yeah, somebody gave you a 15-year sentence and they jumped it to 45. That's a harsher punishment.
That's a harsher
Because
punishment.
even though the minimum is 15, they gonna give you something harsher to make you. They gonna give you some time to think about what you need.
About what?
You gave him no time. He will stay in there the rest of his life. I'm telling that.
All right.
No.
We're going to keep this one short, sweet, because we've already touched on it in some fashion last week. How important is representation and I speak on this from an all-around perspective, because recently we've had multiple movies, well, I'm going to say starting with Robert Townsend, Meteor Man, Damon Wayans and Blank Man, and now we're getting into some of the major Marvel and DC characters, and then also, one of the most dominant or prominent situations that we receive representation in is in the White House with the Obama and all this. How important is it for people of color, minorities, to see people in these positive situations, these prominent roles, really taking on and taking off? How beneficial do we feel that is to not just us, but the generation coming up after us?
I feel like it's really important. Like, I think for us to see, for a long time we didn't have those roles or those positions in prominent places like portrayed. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have them on the bigger screens. We didn't have them in, how they used to always tell us we could be anything. We could do anything. We never saw it, So to have, the first Black president to come along in our lifetime, to have a woman vice president that's Black, to have those for little girls to see, I can work my way up to be that way. I can be there. If one of our kids walked up to us now and be like, hey, I want to be the president one day. It's something that's attainable. They can see it. They can be it. For us to have, like you said, Robert Townsend create the Meteor Man, that was it wasn't on the big screen for us. It was a local movie for us. So it's like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew what the Gold Lords was. Yeah. So, it was cool to see that. And then you took it to Blank Man. It was more of a comedy, but it was ours. Yeah. And then we took it a step further. We started getting, the cartoons, the Static Shocks.
One that we don't give enough praise to was Wesley Snipes and Blade.
Because he was the first. He's the one that saved Marvel. You said
they tried to give it to Iron Man, but
no, it was Blade.
It was Blade.
Then we don't give another one. We don't shout out Michael Jai White and Spawn. We don't give him his credit in that. So we had him in that. And then we take it to another level. We graduating. You know what I'm saying? So we go from Static Shock and those movies to now we go to Chadwick Boseman with Black Panther. You go to Shamik Moore voice in the Spider-Verse. You know what I'm saying? So we've graduated. And it's important for those kids to see those things because in our lifetime, and even in our parents' lifetime, they never thought that they would probably see any of this stuff happen because
it was unprecedented.
It was unprecedented. And then the people that played us in movies was in blackface.
Yeah, it wasn't real.
Yeah. Like my whole thing is I believe representation should always be a part of it. Like it does something to you when you can see yourself as this person.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it's like we had to imagine ourselves being Superman and stuff, and then somebody would be like, oh, well, you can't be Superman, or things like that. So the only time you really got to do that kind of stuff, Halloween.
Yeah.
That was the only time you could dress up and be something and be like, oh, this is me, and nobody would mess with you like that.
Mm-hmm.
Once a year. But
sorry, but I was gonna say the only thing we could be back then was the Black Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Shout out Black Power.
But
Go ahead.
the reason I say is like I'm glad that there is more representation for all. I believe everybody should be represented in some form, some fashion. Like now, if you're forcing roles on people that don't need this role, that's a different. Like honestly, I saw the preview for Little Mermaid and Halle Bailey, and I was like, okay, cool. But there was so many people offended by it. I was like, it's an imaginary character.
Right. So
technically, if it's an imaginary character, this imaginary character can be any color, anybody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, people took so offense to that. There's a difference between fiction and nonfiction. Now, I saw this one thing on Facebook that kind of pissed me off because they had not Kunta Kinte, Shaka Zulu and the Zulu Nation, and then they had a white guy standing up there and he was like, well, how would you like it if somebody changed the color of this person as representation?
Same
And I'm
thing
like,
about the guys of Egypt.
yeah.
Boy, I'm just gonna sit back.
And that's what I'm talking about. There's a difference between facts and fiction. Like, actual real life, this is what it was, but then for the longest time, they would take us out and put somebody else in to make them believe that. Just like even now that we're talking about the Cleopatra movie and all that kind of stuff, which I was like, so Egypt is not the Middle East. Egypt is Africa. Yeah. And when people keep trying to say, oh no, it was part of the Middle East, it's Africa.
It is Africa.
It is on the continent of Africa, not Asia. So, on top of that too, I'm like, there were a lot of black people in there. But the last people that conquered Egypt actually basically stayed there and didn't leave, so they adapted the culture. So now you see more fair-skinned people, and they're trying to say, oh no, that is not a real depiction of Egypt. Man, that's like it. That's the same thing we did to Native Americans.
Yeah.
Oh, well, America is a white nation.
Proud to be an American.
Like, yeah, we're American. America is great. You do realize the people that were literally here, you killed off 95% of them with disease. Mm-hmm. Then the other 5%, you shoved them on a reservation or you said you'll kill them.
Made them walk there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Trail of Tears, which a lot of them died on the Trail of Tears. Yeah. But a lot of people don't understand that. It's the same thing, but there's so many people like, oh, well, no, that's not true because America's always been here. There's always, no. From the time that there's been white people here. But before those people were here, there were people here way before. There were actually black people in America beforehand. But a lot of people ain't going to give no props to that because they were like, oh, well, how did Africans make boats? Like they weren't making boats.
All kind of stuff.
Like
we built this. You know what?
Those are the issues that I'll be talking about. Is oh well, Because in recent history, you see this. This is supposed to be all history.
Right.
This is the whole entirety of history. That's a lie.
Right.
And that's why I'm like, representation, actual representation of all these different things is required, is needed.
Yeah.
Because of the fact of the matter, man, how many people thought about, oh man, I'm gonna be a superhero? You had to be a white superhero.
Yeah, because now you got, I mean, because even for them in the Wakanda Forever, they was proud to have my guy in there playing
Namor.
Namor. It was it was a representation for them,
Yes.
for the Hispanic community. They was proud of that.
Cause they should be. He was hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Then you gotta think about it. Who before Shang-Chi and the Master of the Ten Rings? That was non-existent before then. That was a proud moment for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But before then, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Green Lantern,
Thor, Hulk, like
all of these white characters.
Green.
You know what I'm saying? All of these characters.
you gotta keep going.
They didn't look nothing like us.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to let the black Green Lantern come out.
Yeah.
And every time you got ready to put him out there, they would switch him.
Mm-hmm.
And on the main screen, you gonna throw Ryan Reynolds out there to be the first Green Lantern that you put on the
Kyle Jordan.
Well, I mean,
Well,
Jordan's kind of real, but John Stewart is still real
yeah.
in a way.
But I never,
you know
I
what I'm
never
saying?
heard
Like-
of Hal Jordan even being with the Justice League. It was always Hal Jordan by himself, and then John Stewart was the one with the Justice League.
Yeah.
But then they tried to basically
They changed it.
change him and be like, oh well, yeah, he's in there.
Yeah, that's because they when they wanted to make a live action movie, they're like, we just gonna go in and put this. We're gonna put him out here.
He ain't gonna get it. I wish I still feel like we should get Jai White to play some superhero.
Honestly, he should have been Black Panther. Don't get me wrong. Chadwick Boseman went hard, and he'll forever be a staple as Black Panther. But let's be real. You could look at right now and see Michael Jai White as T'Challa. You know for a fact you can.
Jai White is John. Any black superhero, you can see. I can see him as Black Lightning.
Honestly, he was thinking about being on Black Panther at one point in time.
He should have.
He should have. I don't know why, but don't get me wrong. Black Panther went hard. But if they wanted to do a Black Panther 3,
They just need to make him an uncle though. Because they need somebody younger.
They gonna make somebody younger.
man, first of all, if they could sit here and do Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator and CGI him and stuff like that.
They already got the storyline for the son to take over.
Yeah, so I don't see.
They're gonna make somebody younger. They're gonna bring somebody younger in. And you know who they're gonna bring in? I feel like who they're gonna bring in is the son. I feel like they're gonna bring in my guy that played Franklin in Snowfall.
They should. That would go hard.
I feel like that's who they're gonna bring.
I'll take that.
I feel like that's who they're gonna bring in. I mean, but I'm just saying, like I feel like that's who.
Happy about that one. That's a real good one. I mean, they could also, bring in Jonathan Majors. Although he got his case pending, I still feel like, size-wise.
I could have swore that he denied the case.
Or they could bring in Jonathan Boyega.
I'll take that too.
There's so many people that could do different things.
I would, if they do the story of Bashira, which is the first Black Panther, then I could like bring in Jai White.
Yeah.
Because I watched like the original, like the origin, Black Panther origins.
Yeah.
Man, hey, you need to come up with a fan page on that one. Hey.
I'm just trying to get
I'm not lying.
He's gone. But let me get my spill on representation. I second what you say, yes. I second what you say, yes. And I also want to add to it that when you in these places, and like y'all said, hey, I can see me. It makes a difference. That's when you really have true inclusion. When everybody feels like the chief position is not outside my reach. We got it over here in the TV world, and it's telling a vision of minorities stepping into powerful positions, right? That can then give people the mindset, because we've seen what, a negative perception of a group of people be when it came to the, gangsters and thugs and hoodlums and all that. That idea has permeated the world over. That's why you go somewhere as a black person, people got their own perception of you. We had all representation and inclusion in that world. Now we getting our representation and inclusion inside these realms to where the titles are prestigious. That can then alter the mindset of people throughout the world to see us in a different light, which can start putting us into these CEO positions, and they can stop the people from having the max job exodus and all that. Like, no, we can finally attain those positions that everybody else has had opportunity to achieve since the dawn of time. It's telling the vision that, no, respect us as a people for not only what we can physically do, because at a certain point, we weren't running around talking about, oh man, I want to be Wolverine, I want to be Black Panther, we was running around talking about Kobe, Shaq, Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, because we dominated those arenas. We sat at the top seats in those, and now that's why you got schools full of kids who ain't looking to be your doctor, physician, your lawyer. I'm looking to be the next NBA star, because for a long time, that's the only thing we had to aspire to. That was
who could drop the next 16.
Next 16. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's where our aspiration lied. So now when like our generation, thank God we was here to see it, get the opportunity to see. No, you can be the next motion movie picture star. You can go be the president. You can go own Fortune 500 companies. You can go be real estate moguls. You can go and Will Smith when he played the dude who thought about the whole concussions and stuff like that. You can go be that doctor. You got these options. I can see myself in more roles than just somebody who either entertains you, feeds you, or gives you some form of pleasure and joy from what I do. Instead, I can be somebody who actually provide a quality service to you. Not saying that basketball doesn't provide a quality service to especially those kids out there in Cleveland, because they had such a beautiful, great represent, in LeBron James, who really putting on outside of the gym. Mm-hmm. So he's showing you what you can be as a humanitarian after you can dribble the basketball. You can take your resources and put it back into your communities. Shout him out, major deal. But outside of that, like, because it was one situation, Allen Iverson, he was like, LeBron James is the guy you want your kids to be off the court. He said he's great on the court, but when you start really looking at who he is off the court, the family man,
that's who you want.
Humanitarian, that's who you want him to be.
Good thing he didn't listen to the reporter that told him to shut up the dribble.
Yeah. They ain't say that to Tom Brady or what's that, Aaron Rodgers. They ain't say that to them, but whatever. Because I can't fault the people with their limited minds. I'm going to shout out the people who do have the brilliance to persevere and show people I'm more than just who you turn on the TV to see.
Yeah.
More than that. I'm your presidents. I'm your CEOs. I'm your CFOs. I'm your doctors. I'm your lawyers. I'm representation and inclusion. And that is how you really do away with separate but equal. Now it's unified and equal. Yeah. All right. Anybody else so love to?
Before we close, man, I want to say, man, prayers to DC Young Fly, man. The mother of his children passed away.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hate to hear that.
So, man, shout out. I want to send prayers to DC Young Fly, man. And hopefully everything's going okay with you, bro. And prayers to that family and everybody. So, yeah. Before we close, I want to put that out.
Yeah. I'm sorry that that's traumatic. This has been another episode of Something for the People.
Y'all be easy.